Hey guys, what's up? It's Oliver, and welcome. This is Chaotically Creating, and that was hard to do. I don't know what has been going on, but I've been getting in my head about doing YouTube recently, and also TikTok, I guess, in that tandem, because I haven't posted in like 3 days on TikTok. It's just been like a wild last few days, I guess, but I've been obsessed with learning more about astrology, and so today is Wacky Weird Thursday special edition because yesterday I didn't get out because I was working on it at like 10:30 at night and I was like, I just need to go to bed. But anyways, we do a 20-minute session of me studying Frank Sinatra's birth chart, his astrology birth chart. So here is the drawing, front and back. It's 20 minutes, so I really don't get that far, but you get to see the process of me walking through it. I used OBS for the first time. Like, I've used it a little bit in the past, but not really. Like, I think it was mostly live stream, but this was actually like, you get to see my screen and everything, and as I type, and just the first 20 minutes of looking at his chart, like, other than when I was drawing it. And then at the end, you get to see me make this chart, which is Alfred Hitchcock. So, yeah, it's a little time lapse of that, and I think I'll be doing some playing the piano. But the reason this was like inspired and sparked was I just finished reading The Stars Within You, A Modern Guide to Astrology by Juliana McCarthy, and I just finished reading it and I took notes on the whole book. And in terms of a beginner but like really comprehensive book, highly recommend. I rented it from the library because I was just, I don't know, there's some really very generic, very surface level astrology books that take it more from a pop culture perspective when there's really deep information that you can gather from a chart. And so that's why, I don't know, I think it's really important to know that there is a deeper level to it all than what is necessarily portrayed in pop culture of what astrology really is. So yeah, I start doing that, and so I'm just gonna stop yapping there on it, but I highly recommend this book. It why I like it is that it has, first off, it has really cool like art in here and just really nice like charts of the information summed up, so that if you don't have this stuff already like known, it is like all of the stuff you need to know about it, because it's got like the colors, the body parts, associated crystals, like it's got this for every single sign. So that's wonderful. That's like one of the first great things. And then you get a section on each planet. So you get sun, moon, ascent as their own chapters, and then it goes into the personal planets or inner planets, I think is what they refer. Yeah, inner planets. So Mercury, Venus, and Mars. That is a chapter, and it goes through each single sign in those and gives like little descriptions. It's still surface level, and there's a lot to it, but it's so comprehensive in that. And then it goes into the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, and gives you dates and keywords associated with them, and then the dates of because they're the generational planets. So it gives you those, and people and innovations and technology that happen, because they're also like, the outer planets are what move life forward and make revolutionary like contributions to change in some way. Like almost all of them do that, and it just explains it in such a great way. Like I can show some of my notes here in a second, but I took so many pages of notes in this because it is very well done. And I use only the notes of astrology that I took from this book while I work on Frank Sinatra's chart. And so, yeah, it then goes into the houses, and it talks about the different hemispheres and how you have like the bottom half, top half, how each house has a category of where it is affecting your life, nice diagrams, and then it gives you keywords associated to it, the native ruler of that house, and just all kinds of stuff. Cool thing in the Ascent chapter is it gives you the opposition, so the energy that you need to balance in order to have a healthier, like, expression of your energy is balancing your ascent and your descent. So whatever the polar opposite energy of it is, and it tells you about that. And having find balance in your partnerships and relationships helps within that. And it, like, then it does the house division stuff, which is just, I don't know, it's a very highly recommend. And there's even a section on the aspects, which you don't get a good, this one talks about the aspects themselves, like major aspects, but then it also gives you minor aspects, which I haven't seen very well. And it's an easier read. Like, it's not one of those really dense ones where it's complicated. Like, it's giving you all of the vocabulary that you need and understanding of it. It talks about Grand Trine, the Grand Cross, and the T-square. I want to get this book to add to my collection and not just have it as a library book, because I read through the whole thing and I very much enjoyed it, because it even then goes into steps on how to interpret a birth chart, and these are the steps that I follow for working on Frank Sinatra's chart. So highly recommend this book if you're interested in getting into understanding some of the deeper, comprehensive vocabulary that you need to understand. Astrology is a language, so before you can even begin to actually understand what the expression of the chart is, you need to understand the language. So the language is, you need your 12 signs, which is like your Aries, Taurus, Gemini, all of that, and it's the cycle. It's like your clock. And then you need the 12 houses, which each have a main chart ruler. So Aries is first house. So then that has associations to it. The first house is self. It's the very start of your chart. It's when you're looking at it, it's on the left. And it's like the horizon's here and it's down here on the pie chart. It's right here. But it's going to be backwards, I think. Anyways, so his first house is Scorpio. So you also need to then know the symbols. So the outer symbols are the sign symbols. So you need to know those. That's one piece of the language. The next piece is the houses and their keywords associated with it, and their numbers and their associations. They have a statement to them. House 1 is I am. House 2 is I have. House 3 is I think. House 4 is I feel, and so forth. And you keep going, and they all have a thought behind them, like a statement, an I am statement, or whatever you will have. And then there's 10 planets and thousands of asteroids. They don't show you all the asteroids. And then there's some Chiron's a comet, and then there's other things like the Lot of Fortune, your nodes, and there's all kinds of symbols in the center here. This is I really like the clock metaphor, where you take this circle, or you take a clock off the wall and you put it down in front of you and think of it like a board game. And you have the outer layer is your signs or your numbers of a clock. And everybody's board is different, where their first sign or number, you have to separate them because they can move around. But anyways, I don't think that part was as clear as I could have made it. But anyways, you got your board. And I like to think of the planets as marbles of different sizes, different colors. They have different characteristics to them. And you basically, at the time of your birth, the planets are placed in a very specific point that then when you look at it and you think of it as a circle, but then also how you can make lines and connections to it, it creates patterns and shapes, and different things that are really close together are going to create more tension, and the closer things are together, the more it blends, you know what I mean? Like, so the marbles that are closer together are going to be more impactful to one another than ones that are far away. But then there's also shapes to it, like this. This is a perfect example of it, because this is where the 10 planets land in his chart based off the houses. So it's this, but simplified, and all the asteroids are gone. This is aspects in the center, which is the important angles they make. And I didn't know that this was going to turn into me explaining an astrology chart, but I guess this is me explaining what I've learned about interpreting an astrology chart. So there you go. And then they have other things associated with them, which are their degree and time. So then I like to look at, okay, what are the numbers that are repeating a bunch for him, or critical numbers? Like 0, 29 are really, they're the last numbers and the beginning of the numbers. It doesn't ever reach 30. So this is the idea that 360 divided by 12 equals 30 degrees for each sign if you were to take this circle, right? It's like the pie chart. It's like the clock. All of our cyclical 12-month, our years, our 12-month years, it's the same thing. It just starts at a different point in the year. It starts at Aries, which we just had Aries start season March 20th, 2026. So this is the front of the chart. This is the other side that I have on the back, which is aspects. Now, aspects are the lines that connect them. There are these things in the center. So the blue is harmonious relationships, and the red is more conflicting energies that, if you really think about it, are more where there's initiative, there's drive, there's a chance to overcome something and get good and develop the ability to do something that was challenging. And like, that's how we have that drive. We need that, or we become complacent. So that's how I like to think about as the harder angles. It's a place to look at and try to harness the strength of those weaknesses almost. And then this is an aspect table on the back. So you look here, the sun. Well, this one sticks out, it's bolded too, and it's a square, and it's red. So it's a conflicting energy. So we go there, and it's with Jupiter. So that's the symbol for Jupiter. All the planets have symbols. So these are all the symbols you need to know, basically, on the back. There are planets up to here, and then it's nodes, Lilith, Chiron, Fortune, Vertex, Ascent, and Midheaven. And those are the rest of them down there. So that's that. I'll put a picture of this up there on the screen probably. This is going to take me longer to edit than I thought. But I'll probably just put this in and leave it unedited. It's fine. Anyways, so here we go. All right. Hopefully this is recording. So, you also get commentary from me as I go. So I should start the timer though. There we go. 20 minutes. All right. 12, 12, 19, 15, Boken, New Jersey. We have 19, 8, and California. Okay. This is like gonna be the whole chart that I like work up, and there's gonna be information on who the people are because I want to like know more about their life so that I can understand their chart better. Actor. Very public, personal life. And father, Martin. I don't know how I want to format this yet, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. Tavern owner, part-time Prize fighter. Mother. And since he is someone that is no longer alive, I want to look at his progression chart. Sorry, I got really quiet there. I was deep in like reading, which is going to be one of the harder things. But so I'm going to put down important dates and such here. Yeah, I think that's important. Okay. Anyways, back to I don't want to. This is a long article that I found. I kind of want to just start analyzing his chart and go from there and actually get some of that down because that's kind of what the video is about more rather than just learning about him. So anyways, let us get to studying his chart. So let's see, the first step, chart emphasis. This is going to be hard to do. So chart emphasis, let's just write what most planets. Okay, where are the most planets? Let's start there. And chart, I'm going to start with the chart ruler, which is good. Okay, so Libra 28, okay. Let's do ascent, Libra 28, Sun, Sagittarius, I spelled that wrong. There's 2 T's and 1 R. I think. I don't know. Whatever, it's fine. Sagittarius, 19. I don't know how to get the degree sign. That's gonna bother me if I can't figure that out, because... Oh boy. Sorry guys, I didn't want that to go like that. Okay. Anyways, yes! Cool, okay, sorry, that was gonna really bother me if I didn't get the degree thing in there. Okay, Sagittarius, second house. Oh, thank you. Moon, not moon. I mean, yeah, it is that, basically. Pisces, 5 degrees. 4th house. Cool. Actually, I want this above this, though. Copy. Pace. Cool. Get rid of that. I want this to be bigger. And bold. And 14. It is Venus. That's because he's a Libra ascent. Let's go. Okay. Anyways, where are we at? I got 11 minutes and this is where we're at? Cool. So, most planets. I want to do this a little bit differently because I want to look Well, I'm going to do it how I want to do it. It's fine if it's not entirely with the book. So I want to look at the elements that there are. How much do we have of fire, earth, air, and water? Okay, so we have Mercury, Sun, there's a lot of fire in his chart. Neptune. I don't remember what node that is, if it's that way. And then Mars. I'm gonna just do planets. Earth. Wow, we got Venus. And that's it. Cool. Air. He's getting a lot of... We'll put Lilith. Not that. Water. He's got quite a lot of water. Moon. Chiron. Jupiter on Pisces. And then Pluto and Saturn. Lots of water dominance, because that tells us a lot right there. Okay. Elements, water dominant. Four, 1, 1.5. I'm not really counting Lilith and Chiron as a full part, but I am curious as to where they are in there. Cool. There you go. Alright. My feet are they're so asleep right now. It's fine. Alright, most planets. Fifth house, no. Fourth house. Okay, it's kind of a combo. So, fourth house, second house, fourth house, ninth house, for sure ninth house is the most. Ninth house is the most. Chart ruler, type, seesaw. Northern dominant. Right? Yes. Yeah, 6 to 4. Okay, but is dominant. Ninth house with Pluto Saturn, and Neptune. That is a lot of heavy hitters right there. And that's 9th house dominant. And it's in Cancer. And Leo for Neptune. Interesting. Neptune and Leo. Ooh. What does that bring us to? Okay, well, anyways, I have 6 minutes left. Let's not get distracted by that. Alright, what's the next thing? What hemisphere? I said northern dominant type. Dominant house. Okay, let me delete this. And then it will make more sense to you. Yeah? Cool. And I want some space. Northern sphere dominant. We'll just do biggest house. I don't really like that name, but we can fix it later. Power dominant. Okay. Cool. So 9th house is very significant. What does Seesaw chart tell us? That technically I didn't learn from the book, so I'm going to skip that. But let's see, is there planets in the first house? There are not. So let us start with the ascent and just go from there. I gotta reorganize my notes because they're not in a good order for trying to figure out how I want to go about this. So, ascent. Ascendant. He is a Libra, 28 degrees. Am I? Okay. Cool. Can we get rid of all this extra space? I also kind of don't like how close that is. There we go. Okay. No wonder why. Thank you. Okay, let's just do that for the whole thing, because that's obnoxious having that much space. Okay. There we go. That's better. Alright. Oh, I don't know how I want to do this part yet. This is going to be hard. I have 2.5 minutes left. I kind of just want to take some notes on what I noticed from observing it. And just type them out for the next few minutes. So, see if the matching degrees. There's a lot of Fortune and Neptune are both 12 degrees opposites of each other. What is his strong aspects he's got? What is... Actually, let's go back to this. Okay, so maybe we start... Well, the ascent is like the flavor of everything. So it's got a Libra characteristic to it. So there's charm, there's beauty to it. Where's my Libra? ascent. Okay. So, I don't want it bold. Justice. Oh, I don't like that, but that's where we're going, I guess. Diplomacy. I want to know more about him before I go into this, but I also kind of want to, like, read his chart and see what I gather from that, and then compare it to what's out there. But I got 48 seconds left of my 20 minutes, and I'm just going to work on this for 20 minutes, because otherwise I'll be here for, like, all night, and it's already 22:30 or 10:30. But anyways, the 9th house is very intriguing to me. It's like the same as my flare, because we have the exact same degree and ascent, which is pretty cool. I just don't know where to start. Oh, well, there we go. I guess it's pretty great timing that I got that done. We didn't get a whole lot done, but it was also 20 minutes, and that is a lot still. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Alright, now I wanted to show you how I actually make the charts. So this is Alfred Hitchcock's chart. I start by outlining the whole outer wheel, which this is what changes for everybody. It's based off your ascent, which you figure out by knowing the exact time of your birth. So for him, he is a 10-degree ascent at Pisces. Pisces is the most emotional sign out of them all, or the most, like, I would say Cancer is more emotional than Pisces, but it's the mystic sign. Its normal house is the 12th house. It is the last one of the zodiac, so it's like the ancient wise one. It's been through the whole cycle. So, yep, and then I use Placidus system, which there's so many different systems. Pole is another common one, but I went to Placidus just because my whole sign chart changes completely, and it's just, since then I saw that, I was like, I'm just gonna use Placidus now. So then I write in the planets and all of their times and their degrees, and then in the bottom corner I make a little chart that has the houses divided, and then the planets just as little dots that are in each, so that it's a very clear shot, and then I color in the what type of chart it is. So this is a bull chart, because they're all to one side of the chart, basically. Despite the fact that there's that one house that is empty, that doesn't include it. But then I go over and I make the aspect chart. This is just, I use AstroSeek, so you can look up his time and all that on there. So I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, stay chaotic, stay creative, and I love you guys.